Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey. I'm back here today again with Justin. Thanks for coming on once again.
Thank you.
You've been a trooper so far. And we're here today to talk about, 3-on-3 overtime and then the shootout. So not really 3-on-3 versus the shootout, but our thoughts on, we're going to kind of do this in three stages. The first stage, we're going to talk about how we feel about the shootout, which was implemented in 2005 right after the lockout. Then we're going to move on and talk about how we feel about the 3-on-3 overtime that was implemented in 2015-16, I think. And then we're going to talk about the future and, what's to come. What's the next step for the NHL? Is the shootout going to go away? Are we going to see a longer 3-on-3? Who knows? We'll get into that. But let's start off with the shootout. So this was implemented in 2005 for a couple reasons, I think. Mainly to get rid of the tie and to create more excitement for the fans and everyone, just everyone. And I think a lot of people were pretty excited about it. It was the only time that they've seen it before. May have been in international Olympic hockey or something like that. So the excitement was there, but I think it died off pretty quickly once people saw it in real life and see how it actually impacted the game negatively sometimes. So it's personally, I was excited about the shootout when it came in. Now I want to see it gone. So Justin, how do you feel about that? Do you have any stats or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I actually do. I just wanted to start by saying, I was a big fan of the shootout when it was first brought in. I thought it was very exciting, and I thought, wow, this is the way to go. The fans in attendance, they'd all be on their feet. Everyone was into it, cheering on the shooters or the goalie, depending which side you were cheering for. But after a few years, it just kind of died off for me, and you just kept seeing the same teams rolling through the same three shooters to start a round. And sometimes you'd see them go as deep as 17 shooters before there was a winner. And by that point, you were just kind of emotionally drained and you just wanted the game to be over. The other argument is, once a game goes to a shootout, is it still really a team sport at that point? Because you just have several guys who are taking part in the shootout. And to me, it kind of loses the team component when it reaches the shootout. And it's just basically anyone's game. You could have a little bit of luck on your side, or you could be like a Patrick Kane and just come down and basically score every time when you're one-on-one with the goalie. Yeah. So, after several years, it just really went away for me, my interest in the shootout. And eventually, I'd like to see the NHL abolish it completely. But I'll get into that a little bit. Now, the last year of 4-on-4, as I transition into 3-on-3 here, 2014-15 was the last year the NHL had 4-on-4 overtime. That year there was 306 games that went to overtime. Wish I knew that in advance for Pro Line tickets, huh?
Yeah.
Now, of those 306, 170 went past overtime to the shootout. So that's 55.2% of the games going all the way to the shootout. Now, the first year of 3-on-3, 2015-16, there was 275 games that went to overtime. Of those, 107 went to the shootout. So that translates to 38.9%. So that's a drop from 55.2 to 38.9%. So immediately you're seeing more games ending in overtime and not going to the shootout. And that was the ultimate goal of the NHL, was to try to lower the amount of games going to the shootout. And 3-on-3 did that. It opened up a lot more ice compared to 4-on-4, even though 4-on-4 did open up a lot of space. But the 3-on-3, my goodness, one mistake and it's a 2-on-1 the other way.
Yeah.
It's a breakaway the other way. It is beyond exciting.
It is.
And if you're a viewer at home or even in the arena watching the game live, the excitement level for 3-on-3 cannot be compared.
No, it's amazing.
It's intense.
Yeah. So do you think that you said that the NHL wanted to prevent these games from going to overtime, or to going to a shootout, so they wanted them to end more in overtime. Do you think they did that for a time limit to end games quicker, or do you think that they did that because they're in the process of transitioning away from the shootout? Do you think that they even themselves want the shootout gone?
Yeah, as the years tick by, you're just seeing more and more talk about Well, I think we should really get rid of the shootout. And it's something that's been talked about for even, say, the last 5 years, and it's just becoming more and more of a hot topic of eliminating it completely. Now, my personal side of it is I would love to see the NHL up the time limit of the 3-on-3 and do a full 10 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the general consensus too. I think a lot of people share that same view. We want to see more 3-on-3.
Oh, it's so exciting. And I'm to the point now where if a game is tied at the end of regulation, I no longer care, even if it's Pittsburgh involved, because I want to see 3-on-3.
Yeah.
It is awesome. And what I'd like to see them do as well, because 3-on-3 can be quite exhausting if you're on the ice. There's a lot of space to cover. So I'd like to see the NHL do 5 minutes of 3-on-3. If it's still tied, they take perhaps a 2-minute breather. Zamboni can come out, or the cleaning crew clean up a little bit, and then switch sides and do another 5 minutes of 3-on-3. Chances are, within 10 minutes, somebody is going to score.
Someone's got to score on 3-on-3.
Yeah,
and
somebody's going to score.
I think, I wish we had the statistics, but it'd be interesting to know the games that do end in 3-on-3, what percentage of them happens in the first half of 3-on-3.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know. And I researched statistics a lot over the last 24 hours for this, and sadly the NHL hasn't released a lot of official numbers when it comes to the 3-on-3. Now, I don't really know why that is, or maybe they wait until the end of the year, because I was able to pull the percentage statistics for last season, but I haven't seen anything solid yet for this season, unfortunately. I really wish I could have pulled some serious numbers, because I'm really curious as to how this is panning out positively or perhaps even negatively.
And maybe they're keeping those numbers private for a reason, because they're building a case either to keep it or to remove the shootout. But who knows?
Well, if they're building a case, I hope it's in order to make 3-on-3 permanent and run longer than a 5-minute period. 5 minutes is just not enough. It's so exciting. And you can just see the look on the players' faces, too. When they're on the ice for 3-on-3, they are having so much fun with that. It's probably reminding them, in their younger days, playing hockey on the weekend with friends, maybe on a frozen lake or pond. They're just having the time of their lives with that 3-on-3. They can be insanely creative. They can take chances because they have that space to do it. I think it's a win-win, and it's one of the best things the NHL has implemented in a long time.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing that's more exciting than 3-on-3 hockey. And like you said, it doesn't matter who's playing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's playing. It could be Buffalo versus Arizona. I'm still going to watch it because it's exciting. 3-on-3, it's unmatched.
Yeah, and I find myself, too, if I'm watching a Penguins game, I never really miss a Penguins game. And if I'm looking at every other team that's currently playing and I see a team that's tied at the end of regulation is going into overtime, I'll instantly kick away from the Penguins game, and I'll watch that overtime period because it's just so exciting. Yeah, I won't miss it.
Definitely. Yeah. So that's basically our thoughts. Your thoughts on the shootout, our thoughts on 3-on-3, and the future. And the future obviously being that we want the shootout to go away and 3-on-3 overtime to be extended. So let us know below how you feel about all three of these situations. What do you think about the shootout? What do you think about the 3-on-3 overtime? And what do you want for the future? We want to know what you want to know, or we want to know what you think. So thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. And you can find Justin on Twitter where?
At JustinTheMan87.
And you can find me on Twitter at PostToPostShow. Otherwise, leave a comment below on anything hockey related, and we'll be sure to comment back and have a discussion. And we'll see you in the next video. Adios.